What's up guys? In this video, I'm going to tell you how to overcome food cravings while fasting during a refeed. If you're doing the snake diet, it's finally time to eat. How do you prevent yourself from overeating and binging and basically just giving into your food cravings? Okay, so one thing that's helped for me, a couple things. Okay, number one, you need to have the right kind of leverage over yourself to stick to whatever your initial plan was, right? So like, speaking from personal experience, I have these videos that I make. I'm allegedly trying to be an authority on fitness, and regardless of whether or not it's true, it's kind of human nature to look at the person giving the opinion and determine whether or not their opinion is worth anything based on how they look, right? Like, I'm not going to take financial advice from somebody who's broke. I'm not going to take fitness advice from somebody who's fat, right? Regardless of what degree they have or how much experience they have in the gym, or how much knowledge they have of anatomy, although there are some exceptions, like the coach of CrossFit, I think he's like the one exception, right, that proves the rule. But generally, like, it's like, dude, if you know so much, what's your excuse? Why aren't you fit? If you know so much, why aren't you rich? If you know so much, why aren't you good with girls, right? Because there's a disconnect there, okay? So like for me personally, I have enough leverage, right? Not because necessarily I really want to be in that great shape, because like I'm already in pretty good shape anyway, but I know that I'll be embarrassed if I'm not in good shape, because it'll be very easy for people to say like, dude, you're fat. Like, we're not going to trust what you say. Okay, so that's number one. You need to have the right kind of leverage, right? And basically what I'm trying to say is that leverage encourages me to eat properly. Because every time I think to myself, wow, I'd really like that like Thai ice cream, I'm like, well, actually, if I eat that, I'll be a little bit fatter tomorrow, and I won't look as good in the video, and people won't take my opinion as seriously. So I'll make that like mental calculation in my head. Most of the time it stops me, right? I am human. Shocking. So the second thing, and I would say probably the most important change that I've made to prevent me from giving into my cravings, is the fact that I have committed to only eat natural foods, okay? So like if I want to eat something, right, let's say I'm hungry, I'll go and I'll make this like quick mental calculation in my head. I'll say, okay, is it natural, right? Does it grow out of the ground? Does it come from a tree? Did it come from an animal? Was there minimal processing involved? If yes, I will eat it. If no, I will not eat it. Now, when you apply this to, let's say, a refeed, or if you're on the snake diet, or when you finally eat after fasting, or if you're doing OMAD and it's finally time for you to eat, what I'll do is I will try and fill myself up on as much healthy, nutrient-dense food as possible before I start to like loosen up my restrictions in terms of what I'll eat. So what do I mean by this? Let's say I haven't eaten all day, I'm starving, it's 7 o'clock at night, and I'm gonna start eating, okay? What I'll do, I would say about 80% of the food that I eat, like that initial like quote unquote, I guess we could call it meal, would be something like oatmeal and eggs, right? Giant bowl of it, 8 eggs, cup of oatmeal, cook it all up and eat it. I'll be very full after that, and I won't be able to like fit as much unhealthy food in my stomach, because it won't feel good to have your stomach be that full, okay? Or I'll eat like a lot of meat, right? What I did when I was living in Chiang Mai is there was this Korean barbecue place close to my house where it was all you can eat, Korean barbecue, how it's like a buffet that you cook yourself for like 170 baht, which is, what is that? It's like $6, like not even $6 for like all you can eat meat and stuff like that. So I'll just go there, I'd load up on beef and pork and chicken and all this stuff, stuff myself into oblivion, and then afterwards be like, all right, what should I eat for dessert? Oh, maybe I'll get a fruit shake, right? Maybe I'll get, and I would cheat because I did put on a little bit of weight there. But, stuffing yourself on all that healthy food first is much better than eating your one meal of the day and starting out with pizza, or starting out with pasta, or starting out with fried rice or something like that, which I'm not saying I've never done. Of course I have. But it's just better to pick 80% of your food, that initial binge, mini binge we can call it, to be made up of natural foods. So when you're thinking of eating, right, and I guess most of you probably don't live in like essentially a third world country where you have lots of street food. You probably live in America, Canada, Europe, where like you go to the grocery store, you buy your food, you come home, you cook it. Just like a boring life, right? I think. So in situations like that, in my experience, when I've lived in countries like that, it's just so much more tempting to cheat. I'm not sure why. I haven't really like thought about why, but like when I walk down the aisles of a grocery store and I see like, oh my God, I could get these like chocolate filled, chocolate chip cookies with caramel on top, or I could get the chocolate covered double stuffed Oreos, or I could get this box of donuts. It's just like you're assaulted from all these different angles from all of this like really tempting food. Whereas here, when if I want to eat something now, I go to the supermarket, I know exactly what I want to get. I get my oatmeal, I get my eggs, and I cook it up in my little, hot pot. And if I don't do that, I go to the night market, right? And I get some chicken. They cook it for me right there on the spot. It looks great, smells great, it's very visceral. Yeah, obviously I can't tell you to like move to Thailand and like eat street food every day. Although that would be a great suggestion for a lot of people. It's just much easier to be healthy here. If you do live in Europe or America or Canada or something like that, then I don't really know what to tell you, to be honest with you. I mean, there's no street food. You're not gonna don't go to the mall to eat. That's not good food. Just try and stick to like as natural food as possible, which, like I said, is tough because I feel like in the West, life is just much more boring overall anyway. And a lot of us take pleasure in our meals, right? That's like our one time of day or 3 times a day, however often you eat, to like let loose and, enjoy yourself, you relax, you eat something that tastes good, and you just kind of unwind from the stress of the day. And if unwinding from the stress of the day for you is only eating oatmeal and eggs, it's not going to be that satisfying. Whereas for me, I can go to the beach and release my stress. I can come to this gym and hit a punching bag for an hour and release my stress. So food for me is not that big of a stress release anymore because I have all these other ways of doing that. So I know this was supposed to be a video about like how to not binge on food. And I was going to originally like tell you all of these ways to like, pick the right foods to eat. But now that I think about it, and I just thought of this right now, I think the real trick is to have other ways in your life to release the stress so that when it finally is time to eat, you're not using it as a way to release stress. I mean, obviously, like it's relaxing to eat food. You're always gonna have a little bit of that like enjoyment of it, and food should be enjoyed. But there's a difference between cooking, something healthy like chicken with some kind of sauce and maybe some vegetables on the side and like a potato, cooking that and enjoying the cooking and then eating it and sitting down, eating it with friends or something like that. There's a difference between that and enjoying ordering 2 pizzas and some garlic bread and a bottle of Coke and watching Game of Thrones, right? There's a difference in enjoyment in that. One is like very fast, very immediate. Like you get that quick hit of dopamine and you feel good, and then you feel probably pretty bad for a couple hours after that, and then the next day, and then weeks and months later when you've gained weight and you hate yourself. And the other one is like actually enjoying the activity itself, which is productive. You could say it's artistic. And, for those of you who cook, like, that eating food that you cooked is more fun most of the time than eating food that somebody else cooks, right? So, long story short, eat natural foods, cook it yourself, move to Thailand, go to the beach, start a YouTube channel, and that's all you have to do. So anyway, if you guys have any questions, ask me in a comment. Subscribe if you like this video, you want to see more. Go subscribe to my other channel. It's about internet marketing and generating leads, making money online, that kind of stuff. And also, I am toying with the idea of doing fitness coaching, personalized for like various people who have certain goals that they want to reach. So if that's something that's interesting to you, you want like a little bit of private one-on-one coaching from yours truly, I'll give you, eat this, don't eat this, go do these workouts, I'll, yell at you if you want me to do that too. In my like mellow voice, like, hey, whatever. Anyway, yeah, so I'll put a link in the description. If you want to set up an appointment, just click that, fill it out. We'll hop on the phone. Life is good. Peace.